Public speaking.
You know those weird, stupid phobias people have, even like really late into their lives? Yeah, mine is public speaking. My mind just goes immediately blank the second I'm in front of a crowd. I'm okay in normal conversation, like if I'm just face to face with someone, I'm good. But if there's a crowd, my mind will immediately blue screen and leave me standing there like an idiot. It doesn't matter if I've practiced for like hours beforehand and I know everything that I'm talking about, my mind will just be like, nope, you're not doing this. And I'll immediately forget everything and just be stood there stuttering like an idiot. Public speaking is definitely something I've gotten better at as I've aged. When I was younger, I could barely do speeches. I would literally hide behind my book. I was that kid. The kid who would just stand up there and mumble. The one who'd always be told to do it again because you couldn't hear what they were saying the first time. I was that bad. I still remember my first speech surprisingly well. I was 11 years old in English class, and we were told we had to write a speech about what we wanted to do when we grow up. Now, this was an awkward phase in my life, because this is my pleb weeb edgy phase. So I wanted to be a mangaka, one of those edgy things. Now, I was super self-conscious about my art back then, and I certainly didn't want to talk in front of a class of like 30 people I barely knew about my really awful Naruto fanfiction. So I immediately started looking for excuses. But the thing is, young Leroy seemed to have this opinion in his head that if I kept putting it off, I would not have to do it. This opinion was very incorrect. What I was able to do in the end was I was able to not do the speech until I had to go in for surgery. And the surgery recovery time was like 3 months. So I had all that time off school and I thought, oh yeah, I don't need to do the speech anymore, I'm super cool. Nope. Not only did I still have to do the speech, but I had to do it 4 months later in front of a class that had long moved on from it. So at the start of a class where they were reading Stone Cold or something, I had to just awkwardly shimmy up to the front and read my speech about how I wanted to be a cartoon artist. I changed it from mangaka to cartoon artist because I thought they'd understand it better, but I later found out my class had a lot of weebs in it. I found this out about a month later, and I proceeded to never talk to them because I was weirdly awkward in school. Thinking about it these days, changing it from mangaka to cartoonist probably wasn't the best idea, because I've found out that weebs apparently do not like Western cartoons very much, so that probably didn't do me any favors in the long run. My adventures in weeb were over before they ever began. I stopped drawing anime like 2 years later because I was not very good at it, and I'm glad I did because I've got some really awkward cringe drawings to look back on. Later in school, I was able to incorporate my awkwardness into my speeches. I don't remember when this was, but I had to do a role play at some point for Mice and Men. We needed to pick a character, then write a small speech pretending to be that character. I picked Crooks, the emo, depressed, disabled guy, because I thought, hey, write what you know. So I literally spent 5 minutes looking at my feet and mumbling, and because it was technically in character, I suppose, I managed to somehow squeeze out a B. I don't know how this worked, but I'm happy with this. After that, I put 2 and 2 together and finally realized that speeches are the best when you fake it till you make it. So from this point onwards, I would always just write basic notes and just make up whatever I had to talk about on the spot. This worked better in college. I remember I had to do 2 presentations where I had to pitch what I was going to do for my final project to the entire class. I left it till right at the last second, made it the PowerPoint the night before, and then made everything up on the spot when I was talking. And somehow, I convinced the entire class that I was very natural and knew what I was talking about, when really I didn't. So the moral lesson here is, fake it till you make it, kids. Studying is for nerds. So there's a handful of my weird public speaking related stories. I have no idea if those are entertaining. I just thought them up and thought, hey, this would be an interesting thing to do. Yeah, Leroy, you should make weird videos, that'd be fun. Ugh. I'm hoping to make this a regular thing, but I probably won't because I'm really bad at schedules and planning and all that guff. But maybe, if I do good at this, it'll be a fun thing to watch. Yay! Leave me alone, I've got to cry.